Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and safe travels if you're on the road this weekend. Watch out for the other guy. If you're driving, if you're flying, oh, my thoughts and prayers are with you. It's rough out there. The Nasdaq today was down 115 points. A little bit of a holiday volume here, low volume profit taking. They got to have money to buy gifts on Black Friday, right? But it just pulled back to its 10 EMA and then, found support and popped a little bit, closed 0.2% above the 10. So a little bit of a pullback. This is healthy. It's good to look at leading stocks, when the NASDAQ or the markets pull back a little bit. And so that's what I did today, and that's what I plan on showing today. It closed up 2.9% above the 50 and 0.9% above this magenta line, which is the 21. So healthy rally, little pullback. You got to embrace pullbacks. It provides us more information about the strength of our stocks and where they're finding support. And so that's really valuable information. I'm going to take a look at the S&P, which, still closed above. Oh, no, it didn't. It is right at about 6,5999, roughly down 22 points, 0.38%. So you can see it's a little blip on the screen here. Still trading above its 10, 0.6% above the 10, 1.3 above the 21. 2.9 above the 50 like the Nasdaq, and then the Dow Jones Industrial Average is flirting with that 45,000, just got up there and then got the Mutombo and rejected there at 45. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. There it is. Got there at the open and then sold off all day. That's okay. 45,000. Wow. Never thought I'd see that when I was a kid, when the Dow was trading in like 600. And then the IWM, the Russell 2000, was the big star of the day. It was up actually while the others were down. It's still well above its 10 right there, 1.8% above the 10 and 6.9% above this rising 50. So the IWM, is benefiting from allegedly lower rates coming, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Anyway, all right, that's it for the indexes. This is going to be a short video today, because, it's a pullback day, light volume, not really a lot going on. It's a holiday season, so let's get through this quickly, and then we'll, enjoy the holiday and watch some football tomorrow and have some turkey and all that good stuff. All right, I'm going to go through a couple of earnings reports. Dell reported last night. This company really fries me a little bit. It was down 12 and a quarter percent. Should have been down 20%. Should be taking out these lows. They said that they're seeing robust opportunities in artificial intelligence space, and then they miss guidance. They lower their revenues. If you're really having gangbuster sales, then you should be reporting these. Where are they? Where's the beef? So anyway, Wall Street's going to punish these guys. They're losing credibility by saying that artificial intelligence is a big, robust opportunity, and they're not delivering the goods. So yeah, this is responsible for a lot of the weakness in hardware today. We saw it with NVIDIA. Yeah, Dell can infect NVIDIA big time. Impactful on Vertiv as well. So it was just a big drag. I'm going to get to this in a minute, though. I don't want to get yeah, this guy's make my blood boil. Anyway, CrowdStrike, their report wasn't bad. I don't, just a little profit taking here, 4.5%. It was down a lot more, so it closed up on the session. Yeah, see, yeah, there's some buyers into the close there. It was selling off for most of the day. So what's the daily range on CrowdStrike today? Right about the middle, 38%, not bad. Yeah, just a little profit taking. It's had a big run from 200 up to whatever it was before earnings, 377. So that's a big move. And it just gives a little back, pulls back to its 21, which is a healthy uh, profit taking, and then it bounced a little bit. So CrowdStrike is okay. Workday, not so much. This is down 6%. It sliced its 50 and then regathered that, and it closed at 71%. So it recaptured its 50. That's a good thing. You can see sell off at the open, and so buyers came in. Still, 6% haircut for a workday, but there's just a lot of weakness in the software because of these reports. NTNX, man, I want to take a look at the 5 minute here. Yeah, it was up at the open, just selling all day. So somebody didn't like that report. Accelerating sales growth here, accelerating earnings growth, but pull back to the 21, close it only 7% of the daily range, so that's not good for NTNX. So I don't want to be all negative, right? There's got to be some good out here in the world. And AMBA, this one closed at 12% of the daily range. It was up to 81, closed at 72. Yeah, not what you want to see. We'll see if it can hold that gap there. So what's the low? 71.18. So yeah, if you're long, you're kind of disappointing. Probably wished you would have sold it at 80, but still, it's up, nearly 6% on a day where the Nasdaq was down, you know, a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of a profit taking down day. All right, I'm going to go through some of the winners today. Then I'm going to get to some of the leading stocks that are pulling back. This is MicroStrategy. It's pulled back to its 21 yesterday and bounced. It closed it, it didn't bounce much, 23% of that daily range. But today gapped higher and popped, and Bitcoin was up a lot today. It was back up over 97. It could easily hit 100,000 over the holiday. We come back in Friday morning with it over 100 grand. That would be good for MicroStrategy. It made this high here. The first half hour made a high of 393.90. Then within 11:05, an hour and a half. So the first 90 minutes of trading, it made a high and it made a low of 372.50. And it stayed within that trading range all day until it popped above 394 there. And then towards the close, it went up to 397. A little bit of selling into the close, but if Bitcoin continues its ascent towards 100,000, this stock's going to trade higher. It did, make an attempt. Earlier you could see it went through 200, it went through 300, it went through 400 like poop through a goose. It even went through 500 and it backslid back to its 21, and now it's trying to get back through that psychological 400 level. So MicroStrategy has some work to do, but it's right there. I mean, a dime, $10 is nothing for a stock like that. Hood, Hood looks really good. Hood is good. Yeah, this is you can see these are David Ryan ants, which means just a lot of buying, high volume buying, and not many days of selling. So yeah, this one looks good. Closed below 38. I think in what was that, Tuesday, Monday? Monday it was up 39.74, pulled back a little bit on Tuesday and got up to 38.29. So looking to see if it can take out that 39.74 there on Robinhood. And the other one that looks really good in this crypto market is Hut. Hut, I think the CEO of MicroStrategy was saying he was pumping the stock up. But anyway, you're looking at this Darvis box here. 28.47 is the number right there, and it closed at 28.45, so it can close. Should draw the line where it really is there. It traded above it, but closed right at that level of 28.47. So that's your magic number for 28.78. So yeah, just a little looky-loo above and then came back down. So we'll see how it trades on Friday and then next week. It closed at 92% of that daily range. So definitely the crypto names were the story today of the strength, part of the strength area. Another one was oil and gas. I mean, hitting on this oil and gas stocks for a while now. I don't know if anybody's buying these things, but this Energy Transfer is kind of a slow moving stock, but you can see it, broke out, then pulled back to the 10. Now it's just been climbing higher and higher and higher. 1971 today. This is a big dividend yield payer and definitely a strong oil and gas stock. GTLS, Chart Industries, oil and gas machinery and equipment. You can see this clearly defined cup with handle, pull back to the 10, blasting higher and making new highs. Let's see what that looks like on the weekly. Yeah, it's just a stage one base that it's broke out of there earnings line heading north. That looks really good. 8 billion market cap stock. That's GTLS. OII, I'm just showing this one because I like the chart pattern here. It got up to that old standard buy point of 30.45 and then pulled back a little bit. See what that looks like on the weekly. Yeah, nice consolidation pattern there. Kind of a later stage base, but definitely one that I'm watching because the oil and gas is hit and miss. Some are, way extended, and some are just still lollygag and laggard dogs that you don't want to even look at. And then others, are nearby points. So that's what I'm more interested in, like Golar LNG. This is liquid natural gas play, 4 billion market cap, right there at that buy point, 39.40. So, an area of interest. It did gap higher, and the low was 38.66. So you don't want to see it take that area out. 39.13, 39.20 is the low. So if it can hold that and allow the moving averages to catch up, that one looks pretty good as well. All right, so I got you the earnings, I got you the crypto, I got you the oil and gas. I'm just going to go through some leading stocks now and just take a look at, what happened today with these leaders. App 11, definitely a strong stock. I know some people think, the meat's off the bone here and it's going to crash and burn. I don't think so. I still think it has life in it. I've explained why many times, but today it pulled back to its 10 EMA. You could see that right there. 310.50 was the 10. It came down to a 309.32 was the low on the session, if you could see that right there. So it came back there and bounced, and it closed at 96% of the daily range. So there was just buying all day in this one. Once it had made that low. Yeah, once it made that low about what, couple hours in, 2.5 hours into the session, and then it was just buying all afternoon for App 11. So that looks really good. It's doing nothing wrong. This is textbook action. This, if you own a leading stock, this is what you want to see in it. The pullbacks are supported by a moving average, and that's what we saw with App 11 today. So that one looks really good. VST, Vistra. This is the top performing stock in the S&P 500. I still think this one has legs in 2024, but you could see this little, flagging pattern as it pulled back to its 10 today. I don't think this one bounced like App 11 at all. Yeah, close at 11% of its daily range. So we'll look for the bounce off that 10 on a Friday or next week. The 10 today was 153.56, just closed, a tick above it. All right. Other leading stocks that are just pulling back to moving averages at best. If you can get this one, it's just surfing its moving average. This is ServiceNow, NOW. You can see it pulled back to its 10 today at 103.957 and just, bounced slightly, but found support there. So look for the bounce. They can always come back to the 21 or even the 50 as well, but look for the bounce in these, strong names that are, above their 10. This is Intuitive Surgical. This one's flagging here. Closed right at its 10 EMA, but yeah, I kind of like this right here, this little wedge. You can see it's done this before, as it pulls back and keeps trading higher, right, since the breakout. So as long as the moving averages are heading north and, it stays above the moving average, I mean, stands to reason that you're going to be in the chips fairly quickly. GoDaddy, this one's not giving back much at all. Still well above its 10. Got the Matambo treatment at 200 on Tuesday, and then just pulled back ever so slightly. I don't even know if you call that a pullback. Yeah, less than 1%. Yeah, okay. Low volume pullback. Allow the moving averages to catch up. GoDaddy looks phantasmic. CLBT, this one I don't talk about very much. It's a software name, but this one pulled back to its 10 as well. Pulled back to its 50 earlier, then ramped higher. Now the last, this week it's pulled back a little bit to its 10. So that one looks good as well. CRS, this one's not even pulling back to its 10, just hanging up there, 4.2% above. So another strong name. GEV, that's closed right at its 10. So that one's just showing strength and hopefully, to find support and bounce there. Quanta Services, I'm just randomly going through leading stocks here. 2% above its 10. STRL, another one in this group, pulled back to its 10, and it closed at 36% of the daily range. So not bad. DoorDash, just a beast. This one I have on my ready list this week. Just kind of forming this little shelf pattern. Pull back the last couple of days, but barely. Hit 180 yesterday and then gave back a little bit. Fix, another one in the air conditioning cooling group there, is still well above the 10. So these stocks, they're not really pulling back. I did show NVIDIA, right? I think NVIDIA is gonna, I think it closed right at its 50 today. I think it's gonna trade below it and shake some people out before moving higher. But yeah, definitely got hit with the news from Dell. Netflix, another strong leading stock, pulled back to its 10 today and then bounced a little bit, closed 1.6 above the 10, 84% of that daily range. So we can see what happened with Netflix, sold off in the morning, buyers come in, and it even closed, positive, $4. So not bad for Netflix. MS. Morgan Stanley pulled back to its 21 on Thursday and then, bounced a little bit, closed at 84% of its daily range. Then today, just a nothing burger flat as a pancake. Palantir, another one of these leading stocks. This one's not pulling back at all. It was even up today, 66.05. It closed at above the 10. Nothing wrong there. Deckers, I know some people who sold Deckers. I said, what are you doing, man? It just ran up, it broke out, now it pulled back, allowing that moving average to catch up. But I get it. Sometimes you just get tired of holding stuff. I still think this has more room to go on the upside. He thinks it's going to just have trouble at 200 there. So yeah, move on to another trade if that's what you want to do. But that still looks good to me. Astera Labs, this one pulled back to its 10 at 98.83 and then close at only 31% of the daily range. So not really the buyers you want to see coming in. Yeah, just flattened out there. So we'll look for a bounce next week or on Friday, perhaps. Datadog, this one's up so much it needs to pull back a little bit. Yeah, just gapped higher, these 4 or 5 days in a row, monster move. And now it's just allowing the moving averages to catch up. Sprouts Farmers Market, this one's just surfing. This is ridiculous. This thing's just higher every day. I'm surprised it was down today, less than 1%. TLN, another one of these energy names. Yeah, just surfing its 10, real strong. TGTX, yeah, well above its 10. It was up today in a week tape, 2%. So yeah, that's a real strong name. Bros, another one that I like a lot. Yeah, it can't even pull back to its 10. It was up slightly today when the market was down, so that's a clue there. Eat, which is Brinker. This thing's been on a major roll. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna have to have a margarita, a Chili's margarita in honor of this thing. Just a beast of a stock. Dave's not here. I am Dave. Well, Dave is just made a new high today. Closed only at 35% of the daily range. So what happened to Dave here? Opened up higher and sold off into the close. There's your profit taking. Go buy some Black Friday deals. You got money now. All right. And the last one is Four. Four and Toast are doing really well. Four, man, just cruising higher, 7% above the 10. And the other one I mentioned is Toast and his finance credit card payment group. You can see the ants here on this one, a lot of buying, big blue volume bar. So well above the 10. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Have a splendid Thanksgiving holiday. Eat, drink, and be merry. Watch football and have a good time. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, I do have one more thing. I want to just go through a couple of names that I like. I put on my ready list. This is IONQ. It pulled back to its 10 today. It still closed up 5%, so that's a huge clue there. Yeah, you can see the sell-off in the morning, pulling back to the 10, and then just buyers coming in all day on IONQ. So you can see why I like this one. Got that clear pattern here since the breakout, pulls back a day or two and then rips higher, pulls back just a little bit. It pulled back to the 10 here on this day, and then it rips higher, and now it pulled back a couple of days. and today, 5% move. So that one is not to be ignored. I think it's taking out that old high from, what was this, Monday? Monday was the 25th. Yeah, 35.24. It's got that in its sights. It would surprise me if it didn't take it out, put it that way. All right. Another one that I have is NTRA. This is a medical research equipment stock. And you can see why I like this one. It needs to pull back to the 10 or just form a shelf. It's kind of like flagging here and allow the 10 to catch up. It might take a few days, but I like that idea right there to take out the old high. It's got to get above like 170. I believe the number is. I guess I could get you the exact number. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Come back here. Okay, the high last week was 171.95 and couldn't get over that this week. But yeah, just marking time here. You can see the big, blue growth numbers down here. It's got the growth that we like. Coinbase, this is another one in the crypto area that I like. It's got that standard buy point there, but I still like it, just flagging here and just, pinching in. It bounced off its 10 today, I believe. What's the 10 here? 300, yeah, and it pulled back to what, 295, so, and closed at what, 311. So, and that is a rising 10, a fast rising 10, I might add. So yeah, 300 might be 302, or next week it'll be 310. So yeah, as long as it stays above the 10 and the 10's rising higher, you could do the math there. VRT, I mentioned this earlier, got hit with the DELL news and just sold off and just flattened out at the 21. So I would expect, some buyers to come in Friday or next week from Vertiv down at the 21. And the last one is NVT. This is another one of these electrical power equipment stocks, cup with handle pattern, just a pull back to the 10 today. Might have to be patient with this one. It's not going to move like VST, but definitely a strong stock. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching. I'm going to this weekend, I'm going to be going through some themes that we have, like the data center theme and the weight loss theme and the the boomers taking distributions out of the retirement theme. I'm just going to go through some themes this weekend that I like. And obviously the IPO themes with the new merchandise. So a lot of stuff is working. Embrace the pullbacks. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.